Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Monday call. I am so excited to be here and to explore and connect with and expand and release and let go anything around and everything around self-love, self-acceptance, forgiveness, releasing all the baggage, bringing everything to our awareness, recognizing it, and letting it all go as we're releasing and removing all the layers that have been weighing us down, that have been creating a filter in life, letting all go so we can see ourselves for who we are, and we can see life for what it is. And we can see ourselves as the creator of this reality, of our own life, our own reality, as we create inner light. And as we feel our infiniteness, our oneness, our connection to the universe, as we feel the universe within us, as we feel and see and perceive the truth of who we are, and move into the space of infinite power, infinite wisdom, infinite knowing. So let's begin by breathing and releasing anything that we picked up from the weekend, from last week, becoming very present with our bodies, very present in the moment. So let's take a deep breath. Breathe with each inhale. Allow your energy to expand, bigger than your body, bigger than your situation, bigger than your circumstances. And exhale, letting go everything that you've been carrying on your shoulders, on your back, even around your stomach, all the weight of the world, all the weight of the people around you, all the weight of the people you feel responsible for. Letting go, releasing. And as you continue to breathe and expand and elevate above your body, releasing belief systems, stories, your stories, your belief systems, your families, societies, humanities. Moving yourself into that peace, that knowing, that serenity, that trust of knowing yourself, your authentic self, knowing your truth, knowing your power, knowing your divinity, knowing your history. So as you close your eyes and intend to look back across this life and all lifetimes, see the magnificence within you. All your achievements, your greatness, your accomplishments, as we begin to integrate the living master within you, bringing forth all that wisdom, all the knowledge, all those lessons. Take another deep breath. Exhale, release. Very good. And as I continue to expand into the energy of love, divine love, see your energy unfolding as your higher self already knows what is there for you and what you're ready to let go of. Just see your energy unfolding, highlighting all the areas in your physical body in your emotional body, in your spiritual body, in your mental body, that are ready to come up to the surface, that are ready to be released into the universe, to be given back to where you bought them from, where you acquired them from where you decided it was yours. Take a deep breath. Very good. So we're going to begin with your physical body, moving to your emotional body, your spiritual body, and your mental body. And I'm going to invite you to look at your own body in the space of oneness, in the space of connection, in the space of love, in the space of infinite possibility, in the space of you, the gifted master, the healer, the light worker. From this space, look down at your body and just notice within your body all the discomfort, all the dis-ease, all the imbalances within your body. And let's just notice what we're perceiving, what our intuition is telling us, what our higher self is telling us. What is it that we're holding? So for some of you, I see sadness. I see anger. I see loneliness. I see feeling abandoned, rejected. So we're going to acknowledge that this is the emotion. So for each of you, just notice and feel into yourself the emotion that is coming up. And acknowledge this is the emotion that has been plaguing my body, that's been weighing down, that's been creating this imbalance in my field and my energy, in my systems. And I'm ready to let go of it. I'm ready to restore my body to wholeness, to its vital, functional usefulness. I'm ready to restore my body to a strong, powerful, optimal, 100% functioning body that serves me and supports me and collaborates with me, that houses my beautiful, magnificent soul, my spirit. So take a deep breath and exhale. So I'm being guided to bring in energy from the top of your head, and this energy has a pinkish, purplish color to it. And then right behind it, so it feels like it's 3 different colors. It's like pinkish, purplish, and then green. And it's coming in on an angle through the top of your head. It's almost like a heat-seeking missile. It's looking for all those areas in your physical body that are out of alignment, all those areas in your physical systems that are out of alignment. So it's coming in, beginning with the top of your head, releasing from your, so beginning with your brain is anywhere you're running away from your reality, anywhere you want to avoid your reality. So creating headaches, creating confusion, creating migraines, creating anything else cognitive within your brain where you want to run away from your reality. So we're going to delete and create, delete and create, delete and create, delete and create, delete and create. So the running away from this life is too hard. There's too much to deal with. Delete and create, delete and create, delete and create. All that, and then it's moving down toward your eyes and your ears. And I don't want to see my reality I don't want to hear, I don't want to know, it's too hard to process. So we're going to delete all of the trauma around your life that you didn't want to see, you didn't want to hear about, that you were trying to avoid, you wanted to avoid by tuning out, by losing focus, by not being able to see. We're going to delete and create, 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 delete and create all of that. Okay, all of those emotions that are stuck there. So here I'm feeling a lot of fear around this area that's created. I don't want to hear, I don't want to see. I'd rather just pretend not to know. If I don't know, it's the idea of I didn't know, so it's not my fault, or I didn't know, so I don't have to react. So if I just don't know that this danger is around me, then maybe it won't get to me. It won't see me. So we're going to delete and create, 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 delete and create all of that. So we're going to move down. So it's guiding me down your throat and into your chest. So this is suppressing. So it feels like somebody holding onto your throat and suppressing you. So we're going to release all that trauma there. Again, being dominated, being suppressed, being controlled, being quiet down. You're not allowed to speak. You're not allowed to be heard. You're not allowed to be seen. And it's just this rage about keeping you down. We're going to delete and create, 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 delete and create all of that. And for all of you that are on the call, just notice what resonates with you and integrate that. And if there's something else that maybe doesn't specifically apply to you, but for instance, in this case, if you're not feeling, that was in my life, or I didn't experience that, you can still intend that anything that is blocking you from being your full expression, from communicating your truth, from speaking your truth, to be deleted and cleared out of the way, whether it's from this lifetime or other lifetimes. So we're going to delete and create, delete and create, delete and create, delete and create, delete and create all that. So I see this big imprint of a hand coming in and just suppressing you. And that hand doesn't necessarily represent a person, but it represents an idea. It represents a belief system. It represents a culture. It represents a society. It represents a family, like a family dynamic that for you was suppressing and being choked and being suffocated. So we're going to delete and create, delete and create, delete and create all of that energy out of your physical body. Let's delete it all, delete it all, delete it all, delete it all, delete it all. And then we're going to move down to your heart space. And when I get down to your heart space, it feels like being punched. So I feel like the impact of being punched, the blow to your heart, the disappointment, the hurt, the devastation, the grief, the hurt is also coming from, how could they do this to me? You being shocked that something so traumatic, so painful could happen to you. And again, for some of you it's actual physical, but for some of you it's emotional, it's the emotional impact of the suppression, of the abuse, of the anger, of the rage that was projected onto you and that you experienced. And this is also what I'm feeling is that for some of you, your light was so bright and beautiful that the other person couldn't handle you being so beautiful and your light being so bright. And for them, it was a reflection of, quote unquote, their ugliness, their darkness. So the way they dealt with it was to try to extinguish your light, your fire. So we're going to delete and let go of all of that. And I'm seeing lots of little, what appear little daggers. So if you can imagine somebody that has really long, sharp nails coming in and just jabbing at you around your chest. That's how the pain is coming up as they're not letting up. It's just continuous. It's just, when are they going to feel that I've had enough? So we're going to delete and create, 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 delete and create. We're going to quantum clear all of this from all dimensions, all timelines, all lifetimes, all realities across a time, dimension, space. And even though we're looking at your physical body, because that's what it's showing me, we're really tapping into your emotional body, and we're also tapping into your spiritual body, because it's also showing me from other lifetimes, and we're also addressing the emotional. So we're going to do as much as we can going through each one individually, because they're all so tied together, and we're going to get down to as many layers as we can today. So we're going to delete, 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 uncreate, transmute, release it all. This story, the victim, the story, the manipulation, the story, anything around, this is the way I suffer, this is my suffering, this is my life, and I have to suffer, and this is gonna get, and I'm not worthy or good enough to receive anything better than this. Delete and create, 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 delete and create across time, dimension, space, reality. We're going to integrate wholeness, integrate feeling complete, integrate love, integrate divinity, integrate your infinite oneness. So we're going to allow this energy to continue to move down. Okay, so right around your abdominal area, I saw two things. I saw, again, being punched, like the air being knocked out of you, the wind being knocked out of you. And this is, again, out of the blue or sucker punched or unexpectedly. This is how they treat me for no reason. So the belief is that, again, you're the victim of this, you didn't create it, or that you didn't do anything to cause it. And so you're in complete shock. And then I feel like the stabbing, and the stabbing, that actually feels it's intended to take away from you, to diminish you, to torture you, to take away your purity, your innocence, your everything that made you whole. And there's a lot of rage behind that forward thrusting movement. So they're thrusting forward into you. Delete and create, 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 delete and create. Delete and create all of that across a time, dimension, space, and now the other thing that I'm getting is being kicked. And again, this doesn't necessarily, for some of you, it's physical, actual being kicked, but it's the feeling of unworthiness, not being good enough, not deserving. So what you get is being kicked in the stomach instead of being blessed with joy and happiness. It's like another thing. This is, why did these things happen to me? So we're going to delete and create, delete and create, delete and create, delete and create, delete and create. We're going to quantum clear all of that across the time, dimension, space, and reality. All parallel lives, all timelines, past, present, and future. Release it all, transmute it all, uncreate it all, de-story it. Okay, so let's move down. And we're moving down to your hips and your genital area, your groin. From here, I feel a lot of shame. So I feel the scratching, like somebody scratching at your genitals, the being prodded, the being exposed, the just humiliated. So there's a lot of taking away from your innocence. There's a lot of taking away from your your person, your intending to humiliate you, to take away from your confidence, from your self-esteem, from you loving yourself, from you feeling whole, human. So we're going to delete and create, 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 delete and create anything around abuse, sexual abuse, sexual trauma, physical abuse, physical trauma, anything around being violated, anything around being forced into, anything around being suppressed, controlled, anything around being put in positions where you were exposed and it feels like your person was violated, your space was violated, your body was violated, your everything around you, like everything that you consider, this is who I am, your boundaries being violated. So we're going to delete and create, delete and create, delete and create, delete and create all that trauma around there, all that trauma related to that. So I'm seeing a lot of green energy now. It's like coming around and sweeping around and cleansing and absorbing everything else that is still there. Any remnants of the old, any remnants of the hurt, the shame, of the blame. And there's a lot of feeling powerless. So there's a lot of energy coming up as I feel powerless. I feel, and followed by the I feel powerless, there's anger. I am so angry that I can't help myself. I'm so angry that I feel powerless. And right behind that, there's a feeling of hopelessness, helplessness, and shame. And the shame just wraps around you. And it feels like the shame that's wrapping around you is what's keeping you from moving back into self-forgiveness, self-love, self-acceptance. So we're going to delete and create, 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 delete and create all of that energy, all of that trauma, all of that pain, all of that shock, all of that violence from this lifetime and all lifetimes, from your physical body, your emotional body, and your spiritual body, from all lifetimes, past, present, future, all parallel lives, all timelines, all realities, all dimensions. Clear, delete, and create it all, transmute it all, release it all. I can feel the energy being more settled. The anxiety that was there is much lower than it was before. And that feeling of humiliation, being violated, being shamed, it feels like it's narrowed down to what it feels like just a sliver of energy, although it's sitting like right in the middle of your thighs. So we're going to release that energy up. So you can move back into feeling your feminine power, feeling sensual, creative, powerful, moving back into the divine feminine, the sacred feminine, the goddess within you. So I felt a lot of resistance when I said that. So we're going to delete it and create everything around that. Everything we've cleared so far. Okay. We're going to release, dissolve any resistance to you feeling whole, moving into your wholeness, moving into your power, moving into your divinity, accepting your magnificence and the beauty within you, embracing your sacred feminine, your powerful feminine energy, embracing, claiming, stepping into, living as the goddess within you. Okay, so we're going to delete everything else around that. So as I go down your legs, so around your thighs, what I'm seeing a deformity around your thigh area, like they're not muscular, they're not toned, they're not. So this is what I'm hearing, and what I'm getting is that they are deformed. So we're going to release and smooth out any other shame. So what else I'm getting here is the what. So for what? Like, why should I be so beautiful, or who cares what I look like? So it's a feeling of giving up and settling, a feeling of accepting sort of your fate as you get older. As we get older, this is what happens anyway. So what? So we're going to delete and then create, because it doesn't have to be this way. You can choose to feel. You can choose to look. You can choose to morph into the beautiful goddess that you are. It is your choice. You can give in to what society has already set out for you and live by their belief systems, or you can choose to be you and uniquely you. You can choose to step into your beauty, your sensuality, your sacred feminine energy, your divine feminine energy, to radiate your beauty, your magnificence, to radiate, to broadcast, to be the beacon of love and light as the goddess within you. So continue to breathe in. We're going to release anything else around your thighs. And then there's the other element of protection. If I am not sexy, if I'm not beautiful, if I'm not sensual, then I'll be safe. And so this is throughout your body. So we're going to release this feeling of, if I just strip away my beauty, if I just strip away my feminine charm, my sensuality, my feminine gifts, then I will be safe. Then I will be a target. Then I will not be disrespected. My boundaries will not be meshed or distorted or disrupted. So we're going to delete and create, 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 delete and create all of this across time, dimension, space, and reality. All aspects of this and all of the forms of this. Across all timelines, all realities, all dimensions. Quantum clear it all. Transmute it all, destroy it all. You can choose to be unique. You can choose to be yourself. You can choose to redefine yourself and recreate your life as the goddess within you, as the beautiful, radiant, feminine energy that you are. Okay. And then we're just going to go down to your feet, and we're going to let it wash over your feet. And the feet, as you know, this is the group energy that I'm looking at. And these are, the feet that I'm seeing are like swollen feet, distorted feet, not very feminine. And what I'm getting out of this is I've been carrying the burden. I've been walking with this weight on my shoulders, on my back, that my feet are tired. And I've neglected. So I've neglected myself. I've neglected who I am. I've neglected taking care of me and putting myself first. I've been so worried about everything else, everyone else, pleasing others, staying safe, taking care of others, meeting others' expectations, that I've forgotten just to love myself and accept myself and find peace within myself, to feel grounded in this world, to feel safe in this world. So we're going to delete and create, 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 Delete, 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 and uncreate it all across the time, dimension, space, and reality. Okay. And we're going to allow this energy, pinkish, purple, green energy, to continue to go down, washing away, overflowing, connecting you to serenity and peace, to love, to divinity, grounding you in that energy so that you feel loved, that you feel your connection to love. You feel that you are completely connected to your divinity, to the goddess within you, to your sacred feminine, to your radiant feminine energy, to your sensuality, and you can be free to express it. It is safe to be you. It is safe to be in this body. It is safe for you to be magnificent. It is safe for you to claim it, to be it. It is safe for you to accept how powerful and amazing you are in this body, in this lifetime, and to live your life with intention, with passion, with purpose, as the God is within you. Very good. Allow all of that to integrate. And I'm going to begin to scan the energy of the group for emotions, beginning with the top of your head. So, in the emotional body, I'm picking up confusion, but it's more of if I'm confused, then I don't have to take action. If I'm confused, then I'm victimized. I'm not the perpetrator or the one that takes advantage of others. If I feel confused and I don't take action, then I don't have to fail. If I'm confused, then other people will come to my aid, to my rescue. So we're going to delete all that energy of feeling or having this codependency of something else or someone else. The need for attention, the need for validation, the need to hold on to victimhood, to feeling not enough, to feeling incapable. We're going to delete and uncreate all of that energy across the time, dimension, space, and reality. And then there's this other element of, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to proceed. I don't know what's next. I get overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed with being me. I'm overwhelmed with being in this world. I'm overwhelmed with doing this work. I'm overwhelmed with being in my practice. I'm overwhelmed. And that feeling I'm overwhelmed doesn't feel like it's necessarily true, but it's a good way to distract yourself. It's a good excuse for not being, for not doing, for not stepping into your power. So we're going to delete and then create all of that as well. Quantum clear, delete and create. Transmute it all across time, dimension, space, and reality. That need to feel confused. So it's really interesting because what it was showing me when I said the need, I saw an image of a feminine energy surrounded by the world, and a lot of the people around that she was surrounded with was men. And one was, if I just feel or seem helpless, they'll come to my rescue. If I just feel or seem helpless, they'll take care of it. If I just seem or feel helpless, then maybe, just maybe, I won't feel threatening, or I won't come across threatening to them, and then maybe they'll leave me alone. Okay, so we're going to delete and create, 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 delete and create all of that across the time, dimension, space, and reality. Okay, so let's continue to move down and see what else is there in your emotional body. So when I get to your heart, I feel the pounding of your heart, but this is self-inflicted. And there's a wooden stake, and it's black, and it's about 5 to 6 inches long, and you're holding it in your fist, and you're bringing it into your heart like you're stabbing yourself. But it's really not creating any damage because it's only as long as your fist. So it only if it's a cross, and then it hides away within your fist. So when it comes down into your chest, you're not really puncturing anything. But the feeling that is coming up is the self-sabotage, the self-punishment, the anger toward yourself, the loathing. So there's a lot of rage here. So we're going to lift all this from your body. And when I look at where is this coming from, is you blaming you for the life that you've lived so far and how you were victimized. So you blaming yourself is like you should have known better, you shouldn't have been so weak, you should have said the right thing, you should have fought back, you should have. So there's anger directed toward you for all those reasons, feeling helpless, being helpless. And you, the conscious you, doesn't want to feel helpless. You want to feel powerful, empowered. And so there's this anger directed toward that part of you that at one point felt helpless, felt disempowered, felt vulnerable. So we're going to delete and create all that rage, all that self-punishment, all the self-sabotage that's directed toward your heart chakra. Delete and create, quantum clear across all time, dimension, space, and reality. All direction of time. So when I go down to your stomach, first it felt kind of flat, and all of a sudden it popped out like a big balloon. And what this is, again, it feels like it's anger, rage, self-hate. And it's like if you were going to be angry yourself, and you can make you into, quote unquote, the ugliest person. And again, I'm saying quote unquote because that's the word that is coming from you. I'm so ugly. It's you like creating deformities in your body, like the oversized stomach. And it's again self-punishment. So you don't get to be beautiful. You don't get to be happy. You don't get just to be and enjoy life because I already endured so much already. So you get to suffer. You get to experience what I experienced. So here you go. Big tummy. So you're going to delete and create, 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 delete and create. All that's directly anger directed toward you. All the self-sabotage. We're going to disintegrate and transmute everything that you're holding in your stomach. Everything around, I'm not beautiful, I'm not desirable, who would want me? They just treat me bad. They just abuse me. They don't honor me. They just use me. And so the stomach is also, if I'm not attractive, then I will be left alone. So for protection, delete and create, delete and create, delete and create, delete and create, delete and create all the stuck emotions around feeling beautiful, feeling whole, feeling complete within your heart and within your intuitive nature, in your will, feeling like you have a chance. So I move down to your hips, your buttocks, your groin area. And as soon as I get to your hips, just like shorts. Shorts all of a sudden become really heavy and almost metal-like, and they just drop to the floor. And again, you being exposed, being violated, being sort of the entertainment for others, being the punchlines. We're going to delete and create, delete and create, delete and create, delete and create, delete and create. Delete and create all of this and all aspects of this and all other definitions of this across a time, dimension, space, and reality in all direction of time. Continue to breathe and let go. I'm feeling for some of you some restriction around your throat. So breathe, inhale and let go. Inhale and release. Inhale and set yourself free. I set myself free. I am completely aware of the life that I've created. I'm completely aware of my supernatural powers to create. I'm completely aware that up until now I lived in a fog. I lived a lie, an illusion that kept me in a low vibration, creating things that were not in alignment with who I am, that kept me in the dark. And today I choose to be free. I choose to be the light within. I choose to be radiant, brilliant. I choose to move through life as the goddess within me. I choose to be powerful. I choose to be magnificent. I choose to be the goddess within. And then as I get down and continue to move forward down in buttocks, thigh area. So the lower part of your buttocks, that feels heavy and dimply. And then the back of your legs also feels a little bit heavy and dimply. So this is you carrying, there's some anger, but it feels like it's something else. Let me see here. Okay, so I'm getting unbeautiful. So carrying the idea that you are unbeautiful, unlovable, unattractive, unsexy, and that if you chose to be, that you wouldn't be a target for violence, that you wouldn't be a target for trauma, for aggression. So we're going to delete and create, 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 delete and create all aspects of anger, of trauma, and anything else related to that heaviness in your buttocks, that sagging, drooping, dimply skin. So everything else that you're carrying there that is not allowing you to move into the youthful, vital you, we're going to delete and create, 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 delete and create. So what I'm getting about the legs and the buttocks is just feeling heavy and feeling grounded and being unmovable. And it feels like subconscious idea is that if you create dense, if I become more dense, then they're not going to want to take me on. They're not going to attack me. They're not going to violate me. So we're going to delete and create, delete and create, delete and create, delete and create. Any of those ideas that you have to become something else so that you can be safe. So delete and create, 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 delete and create across time, dimension, space, and reality. All right. Okay, spiritual. So for the spirit is asking me to go back in time. So let me see, for some of you it's going to be 4 lifetimes, for the others it's going to be 7, for others 8, for others 9, for others 14, for others 17, for others 28, for others 51. So just tune into yourself and see how many lifetimes do I go back? How many lifetimes do I have to heal? How many lifetimes do I go back and own my power and release the victim, release being manipulated and controlled and suppressed? So I see you in those lifetimes being thrown in the ground, being kicked, punched into submission, being kicked, punched into being invisible, being unheard. It's just some of you had lives where you were missionaries, some of you were monks, some of you were other spiritual teachers, or of something of spirituality that in your lifetime it wasn't safe to be, or that other people were too afraid that you were too different, that didn't like different. They didn't like outside the box. They didn't like you feeling, so this is coming from them, you feeling like you were better than them. So we're going to delete and create, delete and create, delete and create, delete and create, delete and create. So what I get is we're going to strip you of your power, so you don't ever think that you're better than me, ever think that you're more powerful than me. So we're going to delete all these soul contracts, release all the energy from all lifetimes where you were suppressed, controlled, dominated, manipulated, where you were beaten, where you were tied down, where you were pushed down, all forms of suppression, oppression, manipulation, control. We're going to release them all from your body, from your timelines, letting everything go, transmuting it all, clearing it, deleting, uncreating it all. And as we complete all these contracts and we let go of the ones that are no longer serving us, we can replace these old contracts with new contracts of self-love, self-awareness, self-acceptance, forgiveness. And we can instate your new contract of, I am free to express myself. I am free to live life by design. I am free to be the creator of my life and create a life of abundance, of joy, of prosperity. Very good. So we're picking up all the data around trauma, physical trauma, emotional trauma, spiritual trauma, all the trauma related to the paths that you chose of being a high priestess, of being a healer, a teacher, a mentor, a medicine woman. So we're going to release all of that trauma from your spirit, from your soul, releasing all the data, all the imprints, all the mechanisms, all the chemicals, everything around who you were in other lifetimes, and the pain, the fear that it caused for others that made them react to you in fear and thereby suppressing or controlling you. So we're going to delete and create, delete and create, delete and create. Okay, and we're going to delete and uncreate everything in you that also felt that you were too powerful, that felt that you didn't deserve, that felt that this was good as life was going to get. You're going to delete and create, delete and create, delete and create, delete and create. We're going to clear it all across the time, dimension, space, and reality. Very good. Keep breathing in Continue to exhale as you let go of all the ways that you imprinted in your spirit. I am a victim. I am undeserving. I am unworthy. I am weak. I have no power. Abuse me. Torture me. Violate me. So we're going to delete and uncreate what you created subconsciously, what you believe about yourself subconsciously, and manifested it in your physical body, your emotional body, your spiritual body, and your mental body. We're going to delete and uncreate everything around being unworthy, being a victim, being different. So taking me back to unworthy. Unworthy because you're different. We're going to delete and create, 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 delete and create it all. So again, I go back and look at your spirit, and your spirit is holding tiny purses, and each purse represents a story, an experience, an event in your lifetimes where you were victimized, where you were violated, where you were traumatized, where severe violence was inflicted on you, severe pain. Okay, so we're just going to go around and collect all the little purses. So we're going to ask the angels to come in, Archangel Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, Haniel, Uriel, Ariel, even Metatron. We're going to call them Metatron to come in and just hold space for sacred healing, as well as collect all those little purses that you're carrying as your soul's contracts, as any other contracts that were created, karmic contracts, memories, glimpse of those lifetimes that either are being replicated or showing up now in your body, in your physical body, emotional body. So that extreme fear, that extreme sadness, that extreme rage, that extreme resentment toward yourself or to others. So we're going to delete, 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 and create that. So Michael, Archangel Michael has a big sack that he's placing in the middle of our sacred group, everyone in this group. And he's moving around all of you and asking you to put in your little purse, all the purses you're carrying with you. And so the idea that we're carrying them is sort of our badge of honor. I am a survivor of. This is what happened to me, but look at where I am now as a result of that. So there's an element of I am the survivor, but we're taking it on as our identity. So we're going to release being a survivor, because we're always going to be a survivor if we claim that we're a survivor. We're going to create things in our body, in our spirit, in our mind, in our emotional body, from which we have to survive. So we're going to let that go, let that go, let that go, let that go, let that go. Delete and create, 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 delete and create across a time, dimension, space, and reality. Clear. I'm just taking a look to see if all the little purses have been collected. And it's interesting how they're showing up as little purses. So the metaphor is that they're cute, we show them off, we're very proud of our selection. But at the same time, they're representing the trauma, representing the events, the circumstances. So it's a representation that we, in our conscious mind, celebrate and honor and bring attention to. the violence that we've endured, um, the imbalances, everything around that's anything that's created a disruption in our wholeness or belief about our wholeness. Okay, so we're going to let that go, let that go, let that go, release it all across the time, dimension, space, and reality. God, clear and integrate self-love, self-forgiveness, self-knowing, being lovable, feeling loved. Very good. Okay, let's see if there's anything else around your spirit that needs to come up. So several of you, I can see the brightness within your spirit. You gave up what you're willing to give up. You let go of what you were ready to let go of. So I still see some of you have things that you're holding on to. Not a whole lot, but I can see that you're still holding on to. And this is interesting because the way it's showing up is that if I let go of this, then who am I? If I completely let it go and release it, then who am I? What is my significance? Because this is how I've survived. This is what I've used to push myself forward. This has been what I've used to drive myself forward, to keep pushing myself forward to live. But what's been interesting is that as you've been using it as your fuel, you've been also replicating it because it's been your fuel. So that you've had a hidden benefit to having it, keeping it in your life. Not just the fuel of a forward movement and progress, but also in order to create the forward movement and progress, I need to experience it. The trauma, the violence, the anger, the hate, the rage, all of that. So we're going to delete, needing a reason to be you, needing yourself to be put in a position so that you feel your significance, so that you feel like you matter, so you feel like there's some action that you have to take in order to step out of that space, out of the darkness, and then you feel alive. So we're just going to release all this struggle that you create in your life, all these challenges, all the ways, because it's also connected to self-sabotage. If you're creating progress and you're just not allowing your progress to flow, you're creating more dark energy, more events, circumstances where something is taken from you. You're being violated, you're being abused or manipulated. Then you're sabotaging yourself. So you're going to delete and create all the self-sabotage, delete and create all the hidden loyalties you have to the pain, to the suffering, delete and create all the hidden loyalties to living that life, to being a victim. We're going to delete and create quantum clear. We're going to integrate your wholeness, integrate your self-acceptance, integrate love, integrate your truth, integrate your divinity, integrate self-love, self-acceptance, self-forgiveness, self-awareness. We're going to integrate all of that as we continue to access your divinity, your higher self, the purest form of who you are. Okay, take another deep breath. And let's take a look at how you're doing. So now it's really interesting. You're all really cute. So you're all gladly giving Archangel Michael the little purses that you've been carrying and flaunting. Now that you understand what it is and all the hidden loyalties and all the self-sabotage and all the hidden benefits and all how you've recreated these patterns, you're now aware and you're gladly giving them back. There you go. So you're all gladly throwing everything in Michael's bag of collection. Okay, so take a deep breath. Exhale. Most of you are really bright. Most of you are getting really grounded and knowing that you don't have to live in pain. You don't have to create struggle. You don't have to create violence. You don't have to create survival. That you can just live in your flow. That you can learn your lessons in other ways. That you can learn lessons through your awareness. That you don't have to create significance by bringing on pain. You don't have to create feeling important or validation or that you matter by either self-inflicting pain, self-inflicting trauma, self-inflicting violence, or attracting it into your life. So we're going to delete and create, delete and create, delete and create, delete and create, delete and create it all across a time, dimension, space, and reality. Very good. So it feels like most of you cleared at least, let me see, the ones that had a few lifetimes, it feels like you cleared most of them. So if I take a look at all of you and see where you are, most of you are between 80 and 90% of clearing all those lifetimes that we're holding on to the trauma, that experienced the trauma, and we're holding on to it. We're holding on to why me, I must deserve this. I must be, I must be punished. I must deserve this. I'm not good enough. I must have gotten it wrong. How could I ever believe that I was more than this? So we're going to delete, 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 delete. And if I look at all of you and the role that you had in the being the victim, I see you all, and this is a metaphor, but I see you all kind of pushing yourself up from the floor and standing up and just being in a place of peace and serenity in front of your abuser, in front of the perpetrator, and you just standing in divinity and wholeness, standing in your light, standing in your radiance. And when they come in to attack you, they're not able to, because you knowing who you are is powerful. You knowing that you are an infinite soul, an infinite light, that you're pure love, pure consciousness, that you decide your wholeness. You decide how amazing and radiant and brilliant you are. You have that choice to step into it every day, that you don't have to be defined by anyone else. When you stand in that power, no one can touch you. No one can hurt you. No one can create in your reality, in your light. So I see all of you just very serene, very balanced, hands at heart center, standing in front of your oppressor, your perpetrator, your violator, and they can't get within 6 feet of you because your light is so bright. You are radiant. You are brilliant. You are magnificent. And they decide to run away instead. Very good, very good. So we're just going to touch in on the mind for a little bit, addressing the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind that is so powerful that it takes everything as its truth. So we're just going to look inside your subconscious mind. So just kind of close your eyes and lean in like you're leaning over the top of your head. And then what you're going to look for is a file cabinet. It's a black file cabinet, and you're going to open it up. And in this file cabinet are all of the belief systems your subconscious mind has filed away for you from the time of your first lifetime, when you first decided to take a body, to live a life, to experience humanity. So we're going to take a look, we're going to open it up, and we're going to look for all the disempowering beliefs when you were human. I'm not good enough. I'm not enough. I'm not beautiful enough. I'm not smart enough. I don't have it within me. I don't have the energy. I don't have the smarts. I don't have the resources. I'm not resourceful. I'm undeserving. So we're going to just pull them all out of this file cabinet. Everything that is not in alignment with the goddess within you. Anything that feels shameful. I am unworthy. This is what happened. This is my life, so I feel shame about it. So we're going to delete and create, delete and create. Feeling shameful, therefore feeling unworthy, therefore sabotaging, therefore not stepping into your light, into your power. So we're going to just roll all of that back and then pull it out. Delete and create, delete and create, delete and create, delete and create. And then even though it's not usually stored here, but what I'm picking up is regret. All the should have, could have, would have. Punishing myself. So I see a hammer banging the top of your head. So the expression that is coming up is like, I'm dumb, or I'm stupid, or such an idiot. I should have, would have, could have. And then bang, the hammer goes to the head. So we're going to delete and then create all that regret of the should have, could have, would have, and all the ways you abused yourself verbally for all those actions or lack of actions, all those choices or lack of choices. Delete and create, 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 delete and create it all across the time, dimension, space, and reality. So let's see what else is there in your subconscious mind. What else are you ready to let go? So I'm merely human. I'm just skin and bones. I don't matter. I'm so small and insignificant. What power do I have? Let's see. I don't know where I belong. I feel different and awkward. I don't fit in anywhere. So we're going to delete and create, delete and create, delete and create, delete and create, delete and create all the self-judgment and self-criticism as you compare yourself to others. So we're going to delete the comparison as well. And all the expectations of what you should be, what you should look like, how you should perform, what you should have. We're going to delete and create, 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 delete and create it all across the time, dimension, space, and reality in all directions of time. Let's see what else is there. Yeah, okay, so now I'm seeing weak. I am weak, therefore people victimize me. I'm a victim. But if I'm a victim, then I'm being good because I'm not being an oppressor and I'm not being aggressive toward others. So I'd rather be the victim than be the perpetrator or the oppressor. So that's a confusing belief system that is creating people not honoring you, your boundaries being blurred, and people actually victimizing you in different ways. So we're going to delete and create that, delete and create. So it's the feeling of powerful equals mean, or powerful equals aggression, powerful equals domination or control. So that's what do we call it? Like a opposite polarity. So it's a definition that we need to, or it's something that we need to redefine for you, so that you can feel into your own power and feel in integrity with who you are, so you can step into your power and still feel authentic, compassionate, kind, loving. So delete anything around that. Okay, so we're just removing a layer across all your lifetimes of not good enough, not living up to expectations, and these are not your expectations, but expectations of others. And now we're removing expectations, your own expectations that you're blaming, punishing, criticizing, judging yourself for not having met. You're going to delete and create, 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 delete and create. And then now I'm hearing a lot of words. So these are words that people use for you. Dumb, idiot, stupid. I even hear the word whore. Let's see. So I hear the word ugly. So it's a lot of violent words that were used against you, or that were used in their communication, other people's communication with you, that when I hear them and I see you, you cringe by the sound, the loud pitch and the sound of the words, and how it penetrates your body and penetrates your mind, your spirit, your emotions. So we're going to lift that out of your field, pull it out of your subconscious mind. Quantum clear it all, delete and create, transmute it all across the time, dimension, space, and reality. Go ahead and take a deep breath and exhale. And as you exhale, you're going to connect your mind and your heart. And you're going to allow your mind to feel into your heart, to know your truth. To know that you're a loving, compassionate being of light that is infinite and powerful beyond measure. And your power comes from your knowing that you are light, pure love, that you are divinity, and that you can create. You are a creator. You are a creation. You are your I am presence. You are the Holy Spirit within you. You are the Goddess within you. You are the universe within you. Go ahead and take a deep breath. So we're convincing your higher self, not your higher self, your subconscious mind, with the aid of your higher self, to embed these new belief systems into your subconscious mind, so that when we look to everything that's been archived in your subconscious mind, you're holding on to beauty, you're holding on to love, you're holding on to compassion, you're holding on to forgiveness, you're holding on to I am light and I am beautiful and I am infinite and I am a living master and I transcend pain and suffering and illness. I am the living embodiment of the Holy Spirit, of the Goddess within me. And as you move into that energy, move into that space, then your subconscious mind begins to integrate strong, powerful belief systems of who you are. Begins to integrate your power, your wholeness, your completeness. So allow your heart to feel these imagery in your subconscious mind of the powerful you, the wholeness you, the oneness, the connection to love and divinity. So allow your heart to fill your subconscious mind with powerful imagery of the light worker, the healer, the high priestess, the multidimensional being that you are, that is infinite, that is powerful, the God spark within, divine perfection, pure consciousness. so that your subconscious mind can now stand in that power and help you create a new life of empowerment, of strength, of self-belief, of self-trust. Very good. Go ahead and take another deep breath. Very good. One more time. So let's allow all of this to integrate. All these pieces that we brought together, we expanded into our different bodies. So let's just bring it all together into wholeness, all together into one, all together into the universe within us, all together into divine perfection, all together into the God spark within, all together to our I am presence, all together into the Goddess, the God, the light, pure consciousness within us, the Holy Spirit within us. Very good. And just continue to allow it to integrate. It feels like it's going to take a few hours to fully integrate into your being, into all levels of who you are. Just allow it to integrate into your DNA, your RNA, the waveform, the particles, to fill in the spaces within the spaces, in all lifetimes, in all timelines, in all realities, in all dimensions. It is done, it is done, it is done, and so it is. Good. One more deep breath as we come back into our body. One more deep breath as we bring the supernatural, all the upper dimensions into this dimension, as we practice living from our soul, living in our light, living as our higher self. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me today. Have a great evening. Namaste. And I would love for you to join me tomorrow as well at 12 o'clock for our masterclass on sufficiency, abundance, having more than enough, living in affluence, letting go of all your set points, all your limitation, so that your intention and your efforts and the action that you take forward creates results, so that you're in alignment with your flow, with your vision, with the life that you are creating. So I hope that you will join me tomorrow at 12 o'clock. And if you need the link, let me know. It went out in the newsletter today. And I look forward to having you during our call and creating your greatest life ever. Talk to you soon. Namaste.